All right, sorry. I was dealing with my allergic dog. Shinru closes this opening frame looking every bit of the minus 300 chalk that the live line now paints him. This hasn't been a round of like wild scrambles or flash violence, but the slow suffocation or just his slick ring tacticianship has Shinru, dedicated the geography of the round, dictated the geography of the round, dictated the geography of the ring, kept Montoya sticking to his back foot, leaning on mat returns and positional dominance. He didn't threaten to finish, but he didn't need to. Production matters more than putting your opponent in peril at times. Judges in Japan reward the man moving forward, making the fight his, and Shinru does that. Montoya has flashes, but nothing to hang a betting case on, at least not yet. For now, it's Shinru's fight to lose, and the books are adjusting accordingly. Second round. Shinru's stuck in a guillotine, but he looks like he's going to get out of it. Shinru he's got malleable bones. He's got a ton of Shinru got out of it. Shinru is just so sick, man. How did he get out of that? Matoya, another sub attempt here. RNC. Oh, now Shinru's the dog. The second round swung the whole market on its head there because halfway through, Shinru was holding steady as a minus 160 favorite, doing his usual grinding, when suddenly Matoya clinched up a guillotine that looked like it was fight ending. Somehow Shinru bent himself out of that trap. Bones like rubber, pretty much impossible to submit. But surviving isn't winning, and the optics were undeniable. The judges saw a near finish. The bettors saw momentum, and now the line is flipped completely. Matoya heads into round 3 as a minus 200 chalk. That's the volatility of a flyweight tournament in MMA. You can be dictating the terms. One bad neck position later, you're fighting not just your opponent, but shifting math of the odds as well. Headed to the round 3. Now Shinru back minus 200 favorite. Live odds mean nothing. Matoya plus 136 live. I feel like he's gonna win. He can't be choked. He can't be choked. Shinru he's gone malleable. He's malleable. People need to realize that about Shinru. I think it might be too little too late now, though. He's had too many. He's only got a minute to work, and he's been fighting off submission attempts from Montoya the entire fight. Probably, it's going to probably be a Montoya win here. Live odds have Takahashi minus 400. I don't get it. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to bet Montoya right now. I just bet Montoya plus 355. $5. Yeah, I don't know. That seems extremely odd. The odds movement makes no sense. Montoya was chucking up sub attempts the entire fight, forcing Shinru into Houdini mode escapes, yet somehow the market's got him ballooning out to plus 355. If you're watching with your eyes instead of a sportsbook ticker, Montoya is the guy bringing in danger, the one who could have ended at any moment. Obviously, Shinru's control is undeniable, but it's survival based, nothing threatening. Montoya wins. There's a quick $17. That was so insane. Like that's how quick. I bet him at the very end, like in the last seconds of the fight, at a plus 355. I should have bet $100. Bet $5. But Yuki Montoya pulls it off, and this time the judges didn't betray the action. After 3 rounds of submission threats, sweeps, and making Shinru look like he was a wrestling octopus, the veteran finally gets his flowers. He closed at plus 355 in live markets, which is absurd given that he had Shinru dangling in danger. And the scorecards corrected that disconnect. It's a signature win for Matoya, who used his size, experience, extreme aggression, opportunism, and he was able to turn what was supposed to be the grinder's night into a showcase of offense off the back. For bettors, this is exactly why RIZIN dogs have been profitable all year. Chaos, risk taking, and judges who, at least tonight, rewarded initiative over control. Matoya headed to the Flyweight Grand Prix finals on New Year's Eve. All right, second Flyweight Grand Prix semifinal. This one is less about what you don't know and more about what you do. Hiromasa Ojikubo at plus 155 is the quintessential live dog. He's 37, sure, but he's battle tested, dozens of high level rounds under his belt. His style is pure attrition, well timed doubles, suffocating top pressure, enough submission awareness to stay safe in chaotic scrambles. He doesn't finish often, but he reliably eats clock and stacks optics in his favor. On the other side, Ali Gatsamadov at minus 180 is the prospect line. Younger, explosive, dangerous in transitions. He's the kind of fighter who can make a veteran look ancient if he connects early or turns one scramble into a finish. But Gatsamadov's cardio and consistency remain open question, and especially against someone like Ojikubo, who can slow fights into grinding wars. Those questions matter. Total wise, the angle is clear. The over, like I said numerous times coming into this event, 13-7 since the start of last year, 6-3 so far this year, headed into this event. Ojikubo almost never gets finished, and his fights regularly do go the distance. Gazimatov has finishing upside, but the deeper this goes, the more likely it's to become a grind, and the more that the veteran's ticket's going to look like value. At plus 155, Ojikubo is the sharp side. He's too durable. He's too experienced. He's too savvy not to test Gazimatov's ability to win minutes. Gazimatov's the favorite for a reason, though, but if he can't close the show, that minus 180 price tag could look like a trap. It seems like the broadcast is definitely, they're leaning in on the Tapology picks as opposed to the betting odds. They don't want to talk about the betting odds, probably because RIZIN in Japan with decent amount of issues with gambling. But yeah, the picks, like who numerous times on this card, considering like the fighter who won was the actual betting favorite, but because less people saw that person as the Thus, people on Tapology saw it as that's who should have won. Then that's deemed like an upset. I would call that a shocking turn of events, not an upset.
In the final, the standout. Will we see Sabatello come out with a machine gun? Or a spike? Ready to race at his corner. Michael Chisholm, Damian Brown, from inside the IG Arena in Nagoya, RIZIN 51, semi-final number 2 of our Flyweight tournament. Nice sprawl there from Gattuso. Preventing all the takedown set. From Oliver, Gattuso. Boys, takedown. And he's got it. The leg, you see his knee block the ankle of the right hand side of the leg. Gattuso trying to step over the knee, but he's lost it now. He's back in yard. Gattuso showing aggression from the bottom. Looking for those elbows, trying to split open. Kuba do some damage. Kuba looking to pass again. Kicks high. Nice and pass the half guard. That's what he wants. He's very control the bottom. Bottom half gets Gattuso's body, his legs, but lose that damage upstairs. Nice work to get the half guard. Good shoulder pressure. Nice hopping left hand there from Ogi Kuba. Tell you what, I'm surprised that Gattuso hasn't showed a little bit more urgency to get back to his feet. It's almost like he's just happy to be with. Well, maybe he's been on his back. Ogi Kuba will need to draw on every bit of his vast experience in mixed martial arts. May not have it in striking when it comes to standard and some of the territory, but certainly on the ground, he needs to draw from that very deep well. Actually, speaking of maturity, was the pass to Saki Trot. Just a bit there as he came back in, but that's not the day to get back to his feet. You can see that coming the whole time. From that front headlock as he popped his head out, he's going to level change and go under him. He'll just step over the leg and turn the corner now. Right in compound commentary position. Active lead, neutral corner. Swinging in the outside left thigh from Hiramasa Kubo. Walking in the inside thigh. Just the knees for Kubo. Nice use of the body lock. Just there he goes now. Gattuso did a good job getting to the inside, but Kubo straight back to the body lock. Solid start from Ogi Kubo. there is something more that Sabatov marking out. He's got Sabatov encouraged to do that. Many of those. Sabatov must have some strong hips, must still have height. Because he was under the hips there was Kubo. He was still able to lift it back up above the hips.
This is the most competitive Gatsamatov has had in a pro MMA fight. Gatsamatov. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Kubo is doing well with that body lock. Oge Kubo definitely just flipped the script. The betting markets didn't expect such a gritty first round. He opened live as a big dog at plus 170, but his ability to hold the body lock and neutralize Gatsumatov's explosiveness has made the line swing hard. By the end of the round, Kubo is now tightened all the way down to like a pick'em. What is he? Plus 105. And essentially even money. This is hands down the most competitive fight that Gatsamatov has had as a pro. It's showing in the live odds. The Dagestani prospect looks mortal when he can't break free, while Oji Kubo's veteran savvy is piling up optics, like I said, and his control through one. The underdog has made this a real fight. It's definitely Oji Kubo's fight to lose. And then he's doing pretty well in the striking department too. Gatsamatov. My stream froze.
determination and drive. Big swing against the outside left thigh. Very smart on the Kubo there. He didn't want to lose that position, so instead of taking it down through the ropes, he held on to the drain.
We're back.
That's your experience right there. That's how you make sure the rules work for you. Inside the close guard now, we get Sabatello. Hasn't been Alibek's fight so far. On that, there is no doubt. I feel that if we go to the third and final round, that Sabatello needs to come out with that machine gun. Needs to be blazing when he emerges from his corner. Lovely popping right hand there to Bobby Kubo. Bobby Kubo just what he has to do here. Making it a bit of a blinding fight. Wearing down on Alibek at Sabatello. All the way from those clinches, straight into the mat, grinding on him, trying to pass, just making him constantly defend stuff, making it hard for him to get lefty stronger on the back and on the feet. I'll get Kubo clamped in his corner, and I all started clapping as soon as he looked at the big. You know what I mean? Their seal of approval of his strategy at the moment. And it's a game that he is reading. He smells it. Gets Sabatello in the final seconds of the round. The ground and pound from the hit master of the Kubo. Control. That's an amazing way to finish.
Ojakubo heads into the final round having flipped the odds board completely. He is now sitting as a minus 200 favorite after 2 rounds of relentless top pressure. Live markets have fully bought into his veteran grind, recognizing that Gatsamatov has struggled to shake free of the body lock and position control. Ojakubo isn't doing much damage, but she's dictating every beat of this fight and racking up banked minutes. That said, the story isn't finished. Gatsamatov is extremely dangerous. We haven't seen him backed into a corner like this. And so you can expect him to open up the third round hunting a finish if he doesn't land something massive, though. The line's going to tell the story. Ojakubo has already seized command of the fight on the cards. He just basically needs to be able to get out of this third round. And I think he just needs to survive now. And he should be able to ensure a win. Ojakubo's line just keeps climbing, now up to minus 450 live going into the third. Tells you everything you need to know about the first 10 minutes that have played out. Gatsamatov hasn't been able to get any separation, and when he does, Ojakubo drags him right back down to the grind. That body lock, the sticky top pressure, and the veteran's refusal to give him a moment to breathe has been just absolutely suffocating. The live markets have basically flipped from, prospect type to veteran control, acknowledging that the younger fighter hasn't had any real answer. That said, Gatsamatov still has power and urgency on his side, and down big, he's going to empty the tank. So Ojakubo just needs to survive. No, I can't show it. RIZIN.tv.
Why we haven't seen the more aggressive Alibek and Sabatello that we probably are used to, and that's because of the first round. I mean, heavy wrestling first round, and it really takes the sting out of your shoulders, takes the sting out of your punches, and all you kind of got after that is to try and just hot shot your way to an opportunity, and then try to land one power shot. And here Alibek and Sabatello on the back, straight to that split guard, high hips, body position. Hot shot your way to half guard with an underhook. He staples the leg with his right foot. If he gets a chance, he'll pop through. Alibek looking to get his guard back down. Kubo in full control halfway through this round. And again, staples the leg, gets the chance to bring that other knee through the middle, the left one, uses a side control, then knee on belly, then now, or just pop straight through it now. Control. Since the early get-go, that Sabatello has not had a chance to live out any of his active striking arsenal. 2 minutes 5 remains. Time getting here. Oh, there goes Sabatello. He's going to find a way to turn the sides and swing the pendulum. Just ride him and grind him and use that veteran's experience to pick apart that Sabatello. Everybody's relentless. He's like this every single time. Give him a chance. He's just going to grind his way through the time. And not without trying to get a finish. I mean, he looks for his subs, he looks for his power shots, but he's got his style and makes everything hard to do. I like that. Looks awesome. I mean, that framing on the head's not helping him. He needs to try and get the elbow to the inside between their chests. He can get to his knee with the shoulder and start to wrestle up. But right now, looking for his guard again. A 15 go, 20 yards, not going to help. So they're trying to create a scramble, maybe even expose his back a little bit so he can try to get back to his feet. Master on the Cubo. Cruising towards a sets up in Nagoya. Master efficient now. Spread his arms out straight away to stop any kind of explosive defense while he's at Sanatol. And now, posture up. 45 seconds, getting the strong finish. Looking for a stop.
Had an arm choke for Ojikubo. Hiromasa Ojikubo just turned this semifinal into a clinic of veteran control. What began as a dangerous stylistic clash developed into a bout of suffocation, with Ojikubo grinding Gatsumatov into paste against the ropes and the mat. The live line reflects that. He closed as a massive minus 1,000. They took the odds off the board. The market fully conceded that the younger man has been just nullified. Gatsumatov was a shiny prospect coming in. He was like an incredibly large favorite. What even was his line? Gatsamanov, not as huge as I thought, but he was a pretty big favorite, minus 200 coming in. Shiny prospect had no answers for the body lock alone. No space to explode, no way to create chaos. Ojikubo just banked minutes round after round in the most reliable way possible. And I called it too. Unless the judges have a radical interpretation of activity in this fight, the only suspense left is how wide the cards will be. Ojikubo headed to the Flyweight Grand Prix finals. The RIZIN Grand Prix. The RIZIN Flyweight Grand Prix has given us exactly what the promotion wanted: volatility, chaos, and a reminder that in Japan, the underdog is never dead until the final bell. And now, with the smoke cleared, we're left with a final that's equal parts fascinating and absurd. Yuki Matoya versus Hiromasa Ojikubo. Matoya's road to the final has been a story of the night. Heading into the semifinal, Shinru Takahashi was predicted that he was priced to be the guy to be in the finals and probably the guy to win this tournament. Live odds ballooned out at plus 355 during the fight, despite the fact that he spent the bulk of the fight throwing up suds, chaining guillotines and triangles, and keeping the favorite Shinru in constant danger. Matoya, it was a masterclass in how aesthetics matter. Takahashi had control, but Matoya had threat. For once, the judges rewarded danger over time, and Matoya punched his ticket to the final as the fourth underdog winning of the card. That's the kind of momentum you can't buy, coming in fresh off a win where you were all but written off, only to prove you're still the guy who can pull off chaos out of order. Ojikubo's semifinal couldn't have been more different. He came in as a solid plus 155 underdog against the explosive Ali Gatsamatov, a guy pegged as the prospect to watch in this bracket. Within minutes, Ojikubo flipped that script and with the most Hiromasa fight possible: body locks, mat control, top control, and just smothering. Veteran savvy that's been his calling card for over a decade. By the end of round two, the live odds had gone from plus 170 to minus 250. Minus 450, actually. The live odds went from plus 170 to minus 450. And by the time the third round ended, he was sitting at minus 1,000. Gatsamatov, once hyped as a human buzzsaw, looked like a man trapped in cement. Ojikubo didn't just win, he nullified. So here we are, the Grand Prix final, the opportunistic against the grinder, the man who wins with threat versus the man who wins with control. If this sounds familiar, it should, because Ojikubo has already been here before. He's run the gauntlet to win the Bantamweight Grand Prix in 2021, proving when it comes to tournament formats, the old head with the steady game is worth his weight in gold. This is his chance to make history, to win not one, but two Grand Prix titles in RIZIN, solidifying himself as one of the defining workhorses of Japanese MMA in the modern era. Projecting the odds here, it's hard to see Ojikubo not opening as the favorite, likely between like minus 140, minus 160 range. Matoya, he's got an underdog run that will give him some betting respect for sure, but the betting markets trust control, and Ojikubo's path is clear: grind for 3 rounds, bank optics, and race another trophy. Matoya's sub game makes him live at all times, but it's tough to see Ojikubo making the same mistakes that Shinro has. The real question here isn't whether Ojikubo can smother Matoya, it's whether Matoya can catch lightning in a bottle twice in one tournament. I think Ojikubo is probably going to take it. So yeah, Ojikubo, flyweight champion incoming. All right. This one looks like a squash match on paper. Shaydullaev comes in line as a massive minus 800 favorite, with the market essentially treating him as untouchable. He's young, dynamic, and has been steamrolling regional competition with pace and pressure. The number is about as steep as it gets in RIZIN, reflecting both his upside and the perceived gap in skill. But here's where things get interesting. RIZIN featherweight underdogs have been quietly profitable. They're 7-9 in 2025, but that record has still yielded over 3 units profit thanks to some big ticket dogs cashing. Kolesnik at plus 660 is exactly the kind of flyer that you're looking for here. He's durable. He's defensively sound. He has a knack for dragging fights deeper than expected. He's not the likeliest winner, but his experience and durability give him a chance to make this line look way too wide. The safer angle is probably the over. Featherweight fights in RIZIN have leaned long, and Kolesnik is built for attritional scraps rather than shootouts. What are RIZIN featherweight fights? The over 13-7. No, sorry, that's sorry. Actually, the under 24, 17-1 since the start of last year. But this one, I'm leaning over. Shaydullaev should be still favored, but he's unlikely to just blast through here. Kolesnik, the way that the line is suggesting, if Kolesnik can stay upright and force exchanges later into the rounds, the over has far more equity than the chalky favorites money line.
Razhabali Shaydullaev, the champion. 27% wins by knockout. 73% wins by submission. Not only has he played everybody he has faced, but he has done so inside of 2 rounds. No one has even taken him to the 3rd round. Unbelievable. Last time the Germans did a 7-3 knockout. 2 seconds. All that you did was run. Halfway through the 2nd round. All that fine Archuleta. Just over 3 minutes in the 1st round. And all that approaching together. Just over 4 minutes in the 1st round. Undeniable. Unstoppable. Thus far, unbeatable. Yeah, for sure. Sorry if my stomach guys, those fireworks get me every time. But Shaydullaev is always finds a way to win. I'll tell you what, he had a tough fight against Kubo, but he found a way to win. That's what it does. And he'll be confident going in there. I did notice, as he was standing at the top of the walkout ready to go, Viktor Kolesnik was standing in the center of the ring, both hands up, waving him on. So, probably a little bit like the heavyweight fight with these guys. We're not going to see either of these guys take a back step. It's going to be one of the most exciting fights we get to see. But I still don't think that's the best way for Kolesnik to win. We've seen opponents intimidated by Shaydullaev, and his record is 8-4 for the first punch he's thrown. I've got to say that Viktor Kolesnik, even in the weightings yesterday, he was in Shaydullaev's face. He was confident, he was putting his fists in the air. There is no sense of intimidation whatsoever. Yeah, look, I don't know if you can intimidate a Russian, to be honest with you. This guy's a born to fight. You see it time and time again. Even when the chips are stacked against him, they know how to get it done. But so does Razhabali Shaydullaev. He's a power machine. He's not very tall. He's well built for featherweight and well athletic. And again, he hasn't seen a 3rd round. So if Viktor Kolesnik can drag it out a little bit, maybe it'll work in his favor. But both these guys are 4 wins, the 0 losses in RIZIN. One has the title, one's the challenger. Tonight we get to see which one's the best. I personally think that Shaydullaev has the all-round skill set to rely on. If it needs to go to the ground, if it needs to on the feet, I think Kolesnik's probably going to have a little bit of a striking advantage in terms of managing distance. He seems to have a bit more of a flow with the hips and the feet. But, I just would, it's a little bit annoying for me who's going to win. Not for the fans worldwide, 96% saying Shaydullaev wins here today and retains the title. The champion, 5 years the younger, 3 inches the shorter. Weight broken in it, reach slightly, 1.5 inches goes away of Kolesnik. stick with the fans. It's been a night for underdogs over in Nagoya. Will we see another upset? And my word, would it be an upset if Kolesnik dethroned Shaydullaev? Roberto on commentary in the Japanese desk.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Russian national anthem.
まずは挑戦者ビクトー・コレスニク選手のロシア国歌の演奏です。
Russia is our sacred state. Russia is our beloved country, a mighty will, great glory, your dignity for all time. It's funny. Be glorified, our fatherland, ancient union of brotherly peoples, ancestor given wisdom of the people. Be glorious country, we are proud of you. From the southern seas to the polar regions, spread our forests and our fields. You are unique in the world, one of a kind. Native land protected by God. Wide spaces for dreams and for living are open for us by the coming years. Our faith in our fatherland gives us strength. So it was, so it is, and so it'll always be. Shaydullaev is from a country that Shaydullaev is from a country, Kyrgyzstan, that was a part of the Soviet Union. It became the Kyrgyz Soviet Socialist Republic in 1936 and remained a constituted republic of the USSR until its dependence in 1991.
続きましてジャパンオープンの結果です。
such a bad stoppage.
As good as he gets, with the double jab right hand to start, I thought he was starting quite quick. And that's why you obviously see the weakness, something that he needed to expose, and he got after it. And Viktor Kolesnik did argue the finish, but there was absolutely a good stoppage. I think he was arguing that he was okay, but he was caught in a position where he couldn't get either hand out, and he was just getting battered. And he'd already been robbed, and probably when we see the replay, you'll find that he probably got dropped twice as well in that sequence. Viktor Kolesnik didn't wait any longer to get out of that ring. He could not stop a runaway train, and that's what this man is. He did not raise a sweat, not a stretch, not a moment. What was the official time? 11 seconds. The blood's pouring from Viktor Kolesnik's nose as he walks past us. There's literally
Shaydullaev didn't waste any time justifying his minus 800 price tag. What was billed as a showcase fight ended up being exactly that, as the young contender blew through Viktor Kolesnik with ruthless efficiency. The market had him pegged as a nearly untouchable minus 800 favorite, and for once the line matched reality. Kolesnik was a plus 660 flyer with the over as a safer angle, but he never really got the chance to stretch it. Shaydullaev came out sharp, imposed his pace immediately, and showed why odds makers treated him like a lock. It only took him 11 seconds. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you could really do about that.
スの状態の皆さんの名前を呼んでみんなでそれぞれ感謝します。All still a little gobsmacked. As his valet, I'm sure, Red Hiromoto. The Black Rose, the anti-hero. Incredible. Actually, Hiromoto, I'm told, the Japanese commentary has just said on live television, I'm the only one who can do this. Are we going to see Hiromoto versus Shaydullaev somewhere?
Hiromoto versus Shaydullaev would be pretty great.
Razhabali Shaydullaev. After that, take it. He says he's the only one who can beat Shaydullaev. I think what I would like to see is Mikura Sakura versus Shaydullaev on New Year's Eve. I think that sells out Saitama. Sell it or not, do you think Asakura has a better chance of beating Shaydullaev than Ren? Yeah, I think Ren would probably succumb to the grappling of Shaydullaev, which we know he's got. He's got good grappling, good wrestling, and I think that he wouldn't mess around with that. Asakura could back himself on the ground with a good spin in the last couple of fights.
go to sleep by
Yeah, no, I'm not. This is my. All right. Last one. Roberto Satoshi de Souza. Obviously built his name as one of RIZIN's most dangerous submission artists. Probably the most dangerous in RIZIN as far as his submission skills. Style that punishes anyone reckless enough to engage on the mat. He is a massive minus 450 favorite. The line reflects both his reputation and the reality that he gets dominant position and the fight can end in seconds. The market respects that kind of finishing danger, especially against opponents who have shown lapses in grappling defense. But Yoshinori Hori at plus 500 is not a throwaway underdog. He's a seasoned striker with enough durability and movement to keep Satoshi chasing. Lightweight underdogs in RIZIN have been a sneaky profit spot. 7-13 since the start of last year. Over 5 units profit in that stretch. The reason is simple. It's because the chalk gets overvalued when matchups look lopsided on paper, and the dogs that survive in the first wave often make their tickets live late. The over is probably the sharper play here because De Souza isn't a reckless hunter, and Hori's striking lends itself to longer exchanges rather than early fireworks. If Hori can stuff the first wave of takedowns, we're likely in for a fight that drags past the midpoint, and that's where his 5-1 price tag starts to feel like value. The pick is probably Hori as a flyer, but the over is the more bankable angle. De Souza's grappling is always a threat, but this is exactly the type of fight where the public swallows chalk and the dog has room to breathe. That's my thought on this.
The defense is something you want to learn to have good submissions. So honestly, that his path to victory is requires a big little cost, and he needs to take it later into the fight to slow down Souza. Satoshi Souza about to make his way to the Genji Umeno. Talk about a man who has redefined himself as not just a BJJ guy, but now a potent finishing striker. He comes in riding a 4-5 victory. Those 4 fights have all ended in the first round.
That would be a sick like winter jacket if you can get like what he has there as like a winter jacket.
like a taekwondo top.
But like not like how he has the hoodie underneath it. Like like
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that would be like a sick like stylized winter jacket, or even just like a what's it called, like a bomber jacket.
Yeah.
You know, those like northern. They're like they're like half like they're like the big winter coats that are like they're like half your body.
Yeah.
Like one of those that was like, it had like a midsection. Like you obviously wouldn't want it to look like a fucking gi. That's what that's called, is a gi. But like that whiteness with like this, like, you know what I mean? The crest, like the layered crest. You know what I mean? You can make that set like that, a snowboard jacket. That's what it would be. An awesome snowboard jacket.
Roberto Souza. I can't see anyone else stop that. So, you know, I feel like we might be looking at the best lightweight or one or already the best lightweight in the world. But I reckon potentially is Roberto Souza the best lightweight in the world?
Well, now that now that yeah, that's now that Islam Makhachev is no longer in the lightweight division, Souza is probably one of the best lightweights in the world. But Ilya Tapura would murder him. Like, Ilya Tapura would kill him. Ilya Tapura would touch him once, and it would be the end of the fight. That's what would happen. But apart from that, because Poirier retired, Makhachev moved up to 170. He's got to be one of the best because his jiu-jitsu is amazing. He could possibly be the best fighter that never fought in the UFC.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Japanese national anthem.
Just last one round. Last time he fought, it was like 19 seconds.
Behind you in Nagoya, they touch gloves. The RIZIN lightweight championship gold on the line. The challenger, Razhabali Shaydullaev. The champion, Roberto, Satoshi Souza. Michael Sabatello taking it down with you. Let's see how far to touch the champ to pull the trigger.
At least a single leg attempt, pretty quick. That's really the best chance for him to win is. And he's a smart guy. Nice line of sight. And he tries that left kick.
Good left hand over the top from Hodie. Made there from Hodie.
The long stance that Warrior is providing that opportunity to single as soon as he wants it, but he's back in his striking.
Souza's got a decent leg arsenal.
Yeah, well, it's over. He's done. He's smart to go in the corner like that, actually, because he's using the buckle as a third hand. That's actually incredibly smart. Oh, he's trying to pull him down now. Oh, it's over. Yeah, probably the best fighter not in the UFC, and without question, one of the very best lightweights in the world. He's done it so many times where he just makes like a dangerous clash look like a showcase of like pure dominance. So it makes him the best, like the he's he's possibly also the best. Well, he actually isn't Japanese. He's Brazilian. He's definitely not the best Brazilian MMA fighter. How does he do that? He literally jumped. He jumped from holding his legs to onto his back. Like, how did he even do that? The sponsors spend like all this money to get these guys to fucking continuously take pictures with him. It is smart though, because that's how they pay for so much of it. How did he do that? Did you see that? That was insane. Like, I don't think I've seen anyone like take a back like that. Like, he went from grabbing his legs to on his back. Like, he jumped like a frog. You know what I mean, though? Like, there's no like middle point. He literally, I don't even know how he did that. I need to go back and see in slow motion how he does that, because that's insane. Like, that's absolutely insane. Why did you why was that in English?
Helps me. I was able to defeat my cup 5 times. You know what? Anybody can come to try to get it. But you need to train really hard to even cut close to me. I'm not giving up this jump yet.
They'll have to buy somebody to come in and fight him like they have before. The only guy that beat him, he lost to AJ McKee. Every time I watch one of these, they end up doing this. What do you say? New Year's Eve?
Oh, I missed that.
I guess he will be in New Year's Eve. Oh yeah, he lost to Patricky. He lost to AJ McKee. He lost to Johnny Case. He lost to Patricky Pitbull and AJ McKee. And then Johnny Case, TKO. Wow. He's gonna say the underdog had a great night.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, you know, we talked about it in the co-main event, but it's the same in the main event. Like, how do you solve the puzzle?
It's so funny how they finally got to ringside. It took them years. It took them years to get back to ringside. The last time they were at ringside was probably Mayweather, like pre-COVID, with the English language fucking RIZIN at ringside. For for years, they weren't even in the building. They were calling it from fucking home. That guy sounded like a fucking. The guy on the right was calling it from his basement. He sounded like he was using 56K modem. It's so crazy how they fucking finally got Cage at ringside.
Obviously, Shaydullaev had seen something in the lead up to that, and he was like, I'm going to put this guy on the back foot. Inside leg kick, double jab right hand, and then before we knew it, Chase was out. He dropped it with the right, and it was all over.
Of course, the two semi-finals. We now get our final set of New Year's Eve for the flyweight tournament. It will be Oliver versus Montoya.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I'd like to see Nagoya have a better weight cut, hopefully. But tonight didn't seem like a cold over 3 rounds, although it looked like it yesterday. Looking good, but just textbook MMA.
Speaking of textbook performance, the man who will be the reserve fighter for that tournament, Ursa Yamamoto, a highlight reel performance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if he does get the opportunity, it would be kind of crazy to watch him fight with Kubo, given the wrestling of both of those guys. It would be a very fun, scrambling type fight. But look, I think both the current people in the final will probably be there on New Year's Eve. That's what we're going to get.
The heavyweight tournament concluded with a victory for Alexander Sabatello, missing a pass. Alex Sabatello, thoughts though?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're kind of critical of like the heavyweight.
It should be a drinking game every time he says yeah for sure.
The damage on the face, the calf kicks from Satoshi. He really had a red hot crack at finishing that fight. Both of them did, and you know, the body held up.
So that kid will take on Brian Bader on New Year's Eve for the heavyweight championship. And how about Danny Sabatello against Shoko Sato? Sabatello then calling out Naoki Inoue, who was here ringside, but Sabatello could have been pressed forward.
He definitely could have been pressed more with the use of the rules, but let's not forget he got soft kicks in the first round. Sent almost back to America on gassy legs, and then found a way to use his wrestling to get himself into the fight. And I mean, ultimately found a way to win against all odds after that soft kick. So, you know, props to him, and he probably talked his way into a title shot after it.
The next event for RIZIN will be in Corbett on November 3rd.
Back in the octagon. Or the circle cage. They actually use a fish netting in Japan for the cage, and it's like sponsored by an actual fishnet company.
That's so funny.
All right, I'll come back and recap later. Thanks for hanging out. Talk to you later.